Alright. We are live. Ready to go. Do we want crow hooks?
No. Screw that.
You're gonna give me some boots.
You know, for the time.
Alright, we are filming and we are going to be, I'm gonna give you a countdown. I'm gonna stop on 3 and just go on 1. You can start. 5, 4, 3, 2. And do that again.
Yep. Oh, we gotta hurry. It's out of power.
Oh, come on.
Almost out of power.
Alright, this has to do it. 5, 4, 3.
No, it won't get up there. It won't get up there.
You serious?
Yeah.
We were so close.
Just throw the drum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Calm it down.
Technical budget cuts. Literally just stand on the side and just chuck it onto here.
Yeah, I just hope it lands here.
That'll work. Well, we're gonna press for time recording wise.
Okay.
Okay, let's just...
Alright, remember that's your position. Then, no offense, you just gotta get out of there.
Somehow, I'm probably gonna stay there for the whole thing.
Yeah, either one. Try to make us laugh. Actually, don't. We don't have recording time left. Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Alright. They just kind of stare off into the distance. And we're live in 5. Excuse me, I'm a cold. 4, 3. Oh gosh.
Mail's here.
Yes, indeed.
Check that out.
Oh boy. What does it say? 14 days till Trump. Goodbye, Obama. What the crap are you doing with your hand?
Point. It's like...
Alright, just roll with it, just roll with it.
We gotta change our music for our intro and make it a little more...
Yeah, we do. Alright, you wanna go?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, we're just gonna go.
Wait, can I take the drone?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
40.
Here's your... Whoop! I'm just gonna look like I'm bummed. Hello and welcome to the 44th episode of the Unnamed Political Podcast.
Oh, I want to cut that. You might have gotten the frame right at the beginning of it.
Alright, we're gonna do this. I'm not actually bummed, I'm just supposed to.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to the 44th episode of the Unnamed Political Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Walburger.
I'm Jack Horvath.
Sorry for our interesting little intro there. We were trying to do something.
It's whatever.
Yeah, we want to bring creative talent to this. We want to
be
show
innovative.
the true potential of the podcast medium that's really a video.
We want to be original.
Precisely.
That's important. That's important. I agree.
Oh,
so yeah, that was whatever. But we'll move on.
Into the
this is the
political
Obama
section.
episode.
This is the political podcast, and we are focusing on probably the most controversial president of the last 8 years.
That's
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Oh yes. Alright, so that's what we are going to be starting off with, because for once we actually have a president who we can talk about who still has legislative power. Or executive power.
Some sort of power. Correct.
Yes, President Obama today is going to be giving his farewell address to the nation.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Well,
He's giving it tonight.
He is.
Not in the Oval Office, that's important to note.
Yes, he is going to be giving in Chicago. I think that clearly on his part is kind of he's in legacy preservation mode. That's what he's been in for the past very long amount of time.
Last 2 or 3 years.
Yes, definitely.
To be honest,
I
it's
think
been a
it's
long
the fact
time.
that he realizes he's unpopular, and unless he does something, he's going to, and he hasn't been able to do that big thing. He hasn't been able to close Guantanamo, make people decide that Obamacare is good, or stuff like that. So I think he now just kind of wants to be like, look at all we've done. 8 years later, we've done this.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the best ending.
I mean, the biggest peg in the metaphorical peg hole that you put it in.
The metaphorical
I messed that one up. All right, so the biggest loss that he took was undoubtedly Hillary Clinton losing the election to Donald Trump. That proved that his agenda is essentially
was unpopular with America.
It was the same agenda, but different speaker or different person.
I think you can put a lot more blame on the candidate than just that. Like
right.
Obama, he was I'll be honest, he was an amazing campaigner. He was good, he was charismatic, he was
great
young,
campaigner.
He was at a time when we had an unpopular old white Republican president, and the country was very much wanted to elect the first African American president, regardless
Right.
of their actual policies.
And he was also a transformative president, and if you want
Or
positive
it
transformative,
seemed that he could be a positive transformative.
right?
In effect, it's been a little.
But it's positive or negative, whatever you think in your mind, because you can say Ronald Reagan was a transformative president for better or for worse. That's up to
Touche.
public opinion. But
He definitely has changed the way that we view America, that we view.
For sure.
We have definitely become much more a socially liberal country under Obama.
right.
And
Who knows in the next 4 to 8 to who knows, maybe 12 if they if they unban term limits. For
Oh
president.
yeah, because we are totally going to be voting for an 82-year-old Trump.
King Trump.
Woo!
That'll be interesting.
Oh yes.
But anyway, that's
Trump.
besides the point. But I think talking about Obama's legacy, we talk about a presidency in most eyes of not necessarily false promises, but that there was a ways to go on some of his goals that he brought up.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
all I have to say.
So I think what we might want to do is we have limited time on the recording on our recorder, unfortunately.
That's correct.
But I think we would like to. I think this would be a good time to focus on the Obama legacy, considering it's a significant moment, and then go on to current news towards the end of the episode.
Sounds good.
I might have to get up and check the.
That's fine. It's whatever.
Yes, but back to Obama legacy. What would you say if you had to sum it up? The 3 positives of the Obama legacy and 3 negatives. And these are positives. They can be from your view. They can be from a national view.
Right.
You do yours. I'll do mine, or we can agree and disagree on one.
Okay. Negatives. I'd say
Oh,
Benghazi's
start
one of
with
them.
the negatives.
Benghazi's one of them.
All right, fine.
For better or for worse,
What is so
Obamacare, Benghazi showed how there was a gap in security for foreign nationals.
But
and
do you really
foreign
the
diplomacy.
whole 8 years? That is one of the top 3 worst things.
The magnitude of it was a lot larger than perhaps the actual the
Well, I'm not
implications
saying
it
it
had.
was good
It was
or bad.
used
It's
as
horrible.
heavy fodder on the 2016 election.
Well, I think that's it. I feel like almost the amount of fodder is. The fact is, it itself, I don't feel like was a big event. I feel like the after effects of made it that big event. Not that people didn't act irresponsibly. That it
I'm
wasn't
talking
a
about
tragic
that.
event.
It was the trigger to starting this whole
I'm just saying-
phenomenon that occurred after.
Yeah, I'm saying like if there had been adequate security, nobody would have ever even
Oh, for
really
sraned
cared about it beyond
For sure.
2 weeks, I think. But
For
because
sure.
of that,
The security
it
issue
became
is
such
what
a big
became
deal.
the issue.
But I'm not sure if it's the lack of security at embassies is one of. Granted, it is a failure on the Obama foreign policy, but I'm not sure it's one of the top.
Right, but
3.
but the point is that they didn't send security to help.
I think that
It was a
does-
volatile situation.
They weren't willing to use force when force was needed.
Right.
And I think that theme of not willing to use force when force is needed does carry over into, I think, excuse me, I'm battling a bit of a cold, all of Obama's foreign policy overall. We see in Crimea, he's unwilling to stand up to Putin, and now we have a president who's very pro-Putin, so I think in Crimea it's very likely that Putin will forever, pretty much indefinitely hold the region.
For sure.
And the civil war in Ukraine does not seem to be ending anytime soon, doesn't seem like it will. Granted, casualties have been going down, but it's
For
still
sure.
tragic.
Yeah.
We see Syria, the same thing. The line in the
totally.
sand was completely ignored. We've seen the South China Sea. We've seen in the Gulf of Hormuz with Iran. It's, or Hormuz, I hope I pronounced that right. But I think we've just seen an absent American foreign policy.
I think we've also seen another failure that I've seen outside of foreign policies, perhaps. Not necessarily Obamacare, the idea of Obamacare, but perhaps the application of Obamacare and how it was
So
put into
you're
use.
okay with the idea of socialized health insurance?
No, I'm not. But it has a good moral.
The ideals behind it were good ideals.
Yes, but I think the application and how it was very poorly
Bad things for the right
established.
reasons.
Exactly, and I think that's what it boils down to. I
Okay.
think that the fact that it was poorly applied and poorly established was another jab at his presidency and a jab at the ineffective ability of government. And I think that was very detrimental to his presidency. The first 4 years,
I mean, we saw, well, I'll say this for the positives when I was going to.
right? Perhaps the appointment of Sotomayor could also be.
You consider that one of his negatives?
Oh no, actually, here's a good negative. I'm just thinking about this now. I'm talking about Supreme Court appointments. The failure to appoint Merrick Garland
You think
as
that
a
was,
Supreme Court justice.
you think
Not,
that
no,
was-
it's not in terms of that I agree with what Merrick Garland said.
but for him,
I
it was
don't
failure
agree.
on his part.
Right, because George Bush back in 2005 tried to appoint a
So
justice,
would-
and that got turned down
Would
too.
you describe that as a positive for the nation?
No, I describe that as negative.
For the whole nation?
For Obama.
For
We're
Obama.
talking about Obama's.
Well, yes, we're talking for Obama, but for the nation, would you consider that to be a positive? The fact that Merrick Garland is not going to be.
It depends on who you ask. That's a nice
Well,
issue. You could like Merrick Garland.
From
you disagree.
your perspective, do you think it's a good thing for the nation?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I did not agree with Merrick Garland on many issues. I consider him a moderate by more stretches than Sotomayor or than Ruth Gator Ginsburg, but I still
yes.
would rather have someone close to and
I'll agree with that. I think that for Obama, that's definitely. I think Obama's personal failures are far and wide. Not getting Obamacare passed as soon as he liked, having Obamacare be extremely unpopular, not being able to shut down Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Speaking of the false promises aspect, because he promised to close Guantanamo Bay.
He's been promising to close Guantanamo Bay for 8 years.
So,
I think probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest failures is we're going to end the war in Iraq, and we did. And we're going to go back to Iraq and keep fighting the war in Iraq.
Well,
so I think, unfortunately, I think because he ended the war in Iraq the way he did, it was guaranteed that we would have to go back into Iraq.
Right. At some point,
I just think he really didn't luck out. Sorry, he struck out, and the going back had to happen under his own presidency.
I mean, I will say that most of his foreign policy is quite similar to George Bush's.
Oh no, I think Bush would stand up to opponents. We see.
No, what I mean to say he's more of an interventionist.
I feel like he hasn't intervened enough. I think I think Bush wasn't. That was the whole thing. We intervened in Afghanistan. We intervened in
Iraq.
We
re-intervened in Iraq under Obama.
Yes.
We intervened in Libya.
So I will say that, but then there are places that I think we really should have intervened where he was just
still intervening in Afghanistan.
Yes, and that was the other thing. We're going to end the war in Afghanistan. We are now guaranteed to have troops in Afghanistan. It was originally going to be, I think, until 2024, but now it's indefinitely.
That's interesting.
It is forever. We are probably going to have roughly 5,000 troops, and they may have increased the number recently, in Afghanistan, in addition to other NATO forces, forever, pretty much.
Which is interesting. So, say what you want about Obama. Was he a good president?
Well, so let's focus on the positives.
I would say, we always talk about
we got to be positive. We can't be that. We are supposed to be fair and balanced.
All right, you go first. Positives.
So you said first term, the war I was saving, death of Osama bin Laden.
That's a good one.
A lot of people give credit to Bush's administration, but love Bush, but you do have to admit, who was the guy who was commander-in-chief when bin Laden was killed? Who was the one who authorized that thing? It was Obama. So credit where credit is due. We did see Obama die under his watch. So
I think a positive about Obama is definitely that he was far more charismatic and seemed to be far more educated.
Energetic, caring.
Educated. Far more educated.
Are you
maybe that's not true.
Bush went to Yale.
Maybe Bush got the short end of the stick, but I mean, it's whatever.
So you know what even.
So Obama was more.
I think by the media, he clearly got a more positive portrayal. He is a more likable person, both probably literally and in popular perception. He seems much more like the common thing that people do is who would you want to have a drink with. I think Obama definitely does. Probably rank a lot higher than most other presidents.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. By the way, could you check the camera? It's just because I don't want to have to.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm going to jump over.
That's fair.
But I think, what would we do for our final positive of the Obama?
Okay, so we're 11 and a half minutes in.
All right, so we have about 8 minutes left.
All right. Perfect.
So I would say, I think overall, how do you think in 20 years, or even how do you think our kids and our grandkids are going to learn about Obama? Are they going to, like when you learn about Nixon, like most kids. When you get into it, Nixon's a much more nuanced president.
All you say about his
that guy had to quit, right, like that. Or if you.
But he was actually a decent president.
And if you can argue, and then if you delve into it, but that's like the big, what are you going to get from that? Or like FDR, he helped save the world from Hitler.
Right.
Lincoln, he freed that one. What do you think will be kind of that one thing?
His defining trait.
Aside from obviously first black president, it's probably going to be his number one thing.
Yeah.
Aside from that, or even then, it might not be. Like Kennedy was a big deal to be Catholic.
Right.
Half the people don't even know it was.
Yeah. I think that 30 years ago or so on from now, our kids will probably see Obama as like I said before earlier in the episode, a transformative president, just like Ronald Reagan was.
Oh, okay.
Comparing to Ronald Reagan, two different parties, two different ideologies, but transformative in their own agendas. So
if you had to give
maybe Reagan did a lot. But Reagan had failures. They didn't really look at Reagan's failures. I mean, you can talk about
Reagan's the Teflon president.
There you go.
But
Obama, not so much. But I mean, 30 years down the road, none of the kids will know about Obama.
Granted, we don't know how much of his legacy is going to be dismantled or not. But if you had to give a 10-second soundbite, or even 5-second soundbite, what would you say? Like, if you had to, what do you think in schools they're going to say? We're going to briefly talk about President Obama, yada yada yada. What would that yada 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 be?
First black president, intervened in Libya. Intervened in numerous president during the Arab Spring.
I think that'll probably.
I wouldn't call him necessarily an interventionist. I wouldn't call him a war hawk by any means.
Oh, definitely not.
But,
very much the opposite. Failed Bell, I would say.
I mean, schools would say this, but definitely the most liberal president we've had.
Oh, by far. Well, I think pretty much every new president.
And that's agreement. That's bipartisan agreement. He's the most liberal president.
Oh, very much so.
So that would also be going down in terms of other issues.
He was president of a huge, I think Transformers is a big deal. We had kind of the LGBT movement has really taken off.
It was a civil rights era in some ways.
I think, people will definitely want to call this time period probably the second civil rights era, I think.
You can.
In the future, I don't know if that's entirely justified, but that is a story for another time, which we should make down our list of these stories for another time that we never get to.
Yeah, we
One
have a
day
lot.
finally cover them up.
Or we'll just cover that later.
Yes. I'm not sure if we have time.
No.
But,
All right.
And on to more current news.
Yes.
We apologize for these videos always coming out a little bit later, so we understand that when you're watching this is probably a week after the events have happened. But as of
That's
today,
just how time goes. We're in school.
we have school and editing time and uploading, trying to space them out.
That's not fun. So
It
just give us the benefit of the
Very
doubt.
unfortunate. We are sorry, but we hope they will continue to watch because you
We've been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah, we have been committed, so we hope you are too.
Yeah, totally.
Please, okay,
Right.
granted, our commitment level has varied from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we had a 2-month hiatus, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point.
right.
That's
back
down
to
the road.
We're gonna get back to the news. Okay,
Sort
so we
of
had
time.
Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions is going to, hopefully, if Trump gets his way, or hopefully for Trump, going to be the next Attorney General. He recently had a hearing today in which he was kind of grilled by everybody about every single thing. What would you say were the big takeaways from that?
I thought many people thought of Jeff Sessions as more of a fringe party member, giving the people affiliated with him with the Ku Klux Klan. And there was some quote that said, like, I was in with the Ku Klux Klan, so I figured out they smoked weed. That was an actual quote. I swear. That was an actual quote. Which is strange. I was back in the 80s. It's whatever. I mean, but when Jeff Sessions had his hearing, he came off as a much more moderate conservative.
I don't know if it's Mike Pence's,
Not a moderate, but
Mike
moderate
Pence's,
conservative.
tutelage, but I think they do want to. They realize that they have the most unlikable president in modern history.
Yes,
and they
and we need to
need
unify.
to pitch a more positive, moderate.
That appeals
so
to the
I think
base.
They're going to be doing that. They've said now there isn't going to be a Muslim registry,
Right.
which I think
They're not going to prosecute Hillary Clinton.
They're not. Both of which, in my opinion, are one, a very right, and two, a very smart decision to make.
Yeah, for sure. No, prosecuting Hillary Clinton would go so bad.
That would be terrible. That would look horribly undemocratic. The Muslim registry, equally undemocratic in my
Yeah,
opinion.
crazy.
For the most part.
So I think that's a very positive way to go for American people, and I think that most of the cabinet officials should have no problem getting appointed because it's just what happens.
I think for the most part, I think they
it out.
shouldn't have a tough time getting appointed. Like literally, they should not. But
They will.
we've seen constant pushes from California has now hired former Attorney General Eric Holden to literally head California's fight against Trump. Where, I mean, these guys are acting like they're under occupation from a
Just quite
military
strange.
force.
Yeah, because
It's a bit much.
he's quite. Trump is quite good. Is going to be very. I hope to be a good unifying president. Will include everybody.
I think he will do.
You don't want to divide. Some people say that Obama divided.
Oh, I would say yeah, Obama was divisive, but
Some
I think
people say
we just
Bush
live in a
divided.
very
A divisive
continually
country.
we become a more as time has gone on, we become more and more divisive. I feel.
Yeah.
Granted,
Civil War down the road. I hope not.
We've had more divisive times, but I think in recent memory we have slowly seen a trend of increased divisiveness.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I think Sessions was going to be one of the more controversial people to be heard.
I think,
by the Congress.
Mattis, I think is going to have an easier time potentially, just simply because his war record and
He's fit for the job. I would say.
I think it's going to be a little hard to argue with somebody who is shown to be an effective military
I'm trying to
leader.
think of people that would have a tough time getting in besides Sessions.
Ben Carson.
Oh, oof. I actually forgot about that.
He'll sleep his way through all the hearings.
I mean, he doesn't. Whatever. I'm not going to say anything about Ben Carson because he's got to be somewhat qualified for the job.
He's a smart guy.
But isn't he for the urban housing committee?
He is
He's a neurosurgeon.
housing and urban development.
That's it. All right. Well, say what you will.
Yeah, let's be honest. Maybe not the best decision for Donald.
But it's
not the best
whatever.
decision for Donald. But
Nikki Haley.
he's not perfect. But come on, Nikki Haley. I am loving that decision. That was a smart decision to make. Excellent choice on the part of the United States of America.
Job.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're doing Bush impressions when this is the
How much
Barack
you know,
Obama.
right?
This is the Barack Obama.
Well, you do, but I can't do an impression,
believe-
so that's good that you can.
This nation speaks many times.
Oh, we can do a Trump
We
impression
will
too
do
for
this.
45.
Yeah, next episode. But
I
let's
can't do it.
finish up with what other major news happened this week.
Yep. So, other major news that's going on. Okay. So, there has been increased tension. You ask why?
Tension between who?
Tension between which parties?
Okay.
Well,
can we quickly check the time just
Yeah.
while we're doing that? So I would say, in other words, we have seen increased tension between parties. We've seen continuing pushes against the Donald. We recently saw U.S. Naval ships
19 minutes.
left.
Yes. Or no, 19 minutes recording.
Okay,
So we got like 2
have 2
minutes.
left. We recently saw tensions rise between Iran and the United States when naval ships fired upon warning shots towards Iranian naval vessels who were attempting to currently do kind of a military exercise to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which would shut off the Persian Gulf in the event of a military conflict. We've seen new claims that Russia did in fact hack both parties, but chose to reveal Democratic emails because of the fact that they thought that they wanted Trump to be president, they wanted to help Trump. Do you think that's true?
I wouldn't. Well, I don't think it's true. But U.S. intelligence is whatever. I believe that they are credible.
I think it is true. I think Putin would have preferred a Trump presidency.
So
I don't
they're
think,
just revealing it now.
I don't think you should discredit Trump because of that.
No, for sure not.
And
people are trying to do that.
Very much so.
But no, I don't believe they should be allowed to. I just find it how the timing plays out because they're trying to discredit Trump as much as they can before the inauguration. So they can come in as an ineffective president with no mandate, so they can't get anything done.
They want to discredit him as much as possible, and to some degree that might be justified. But it's not like Trump was on the phone with Putin like, "Hey Vlad, can you please hack these guys for me?"
Yo, Vlad, help me win.
Precisely.
Exactly.
I think that we will need to see more as it comes out, but I think we should honestly. Russia is not our friend. For the most part, we should try to not seek a war with them, but I think we do need to be tougher with them than Trump is doing.
For sure.
And unfortunately, we apologize for the delay. Our camera did run out of memories time. We were able to delete something, so we do have a few more minutes left in which to cram this in. We were talking about Jared Kushner.
Right, Trump's son-in-law.
Sorry for rushing through everything there.
Yeah, we can slow down now.
Yeah, we
talk slowly.
Yes, but we were trying to keep our episodes short. But
Yeah, we've broken that barrier.
Oh
That's
yeah,
whatever.
don't worry. All right, but Jared Kushner, that's a bad idea.
Because it's family.
I think he's having too much familial influence. I think it looks bad. Whether or not Jared Kushner is such
why he has such an interest in it.
I think
He's
it's
not a
bad.
politician.
I think we see Ivanka, she already owns a house in D.C. I think it just looks sketchy.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like John F. Kennedy made a law making it so.
Yeah, he had RFK. There.
Right.
I think that we granted nobody cared when it was JFK and RFK.
Right.
But I think that having too much familial influence is a bad idea, regardless of how smart or intelligent or brilliant your family members are. It just doesn't look democratic. It doesn't look like Jeb was not appointed Secretary of State or anything like that. Granted, he wasn't. This isn't like Jared Kushner's going to be taking a position of power.
Right. Right.
But I still think that having the son-in-law, who granted seems like an intelligent guy,
For sure.
Based on what I've seen, but I think it's a bad image idea.
Bad image idea for sure. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Senior advisor role, you don't really hear much about them, but they definitely have a larger role inside the White House, for sure.
And I think especially
Chief of
Trump,
staff, all those
Trump
guys.
is a president who, let's be honest, he doesn't have a ton of on-the-ground experience or information, so he's going to be heavily relying on his advisors and his cabinet.
Right, and
So
listening to your brother or your son-in-law.
I think it's going to play a heavier role. Advisors will play a heavier role in this future presidency than any other one in recent memory.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to at this point.
All right, so I think we have a controversial presidency ending and
controversial
another one
beginning.
starting. All right, to Barack Obama.
Adios.
It was interesting having you.
It was mediocre. Could have been better.
Could have been better. Could have been worse.
For sure.
We're sorry, we can't give you a more positive thing. You gave us a great speech pattern. You're to impersonate. I know this isn't a very good one.
Childhood was pretty decent.
You're my full nerves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the world didn't end.
No.
That's about all we can ask for.
It's pretty good.
We'll probably fit a few more things on the list, but that's kind of a big one for me.
Yeah, I mean, Obama's lit. Who knows what's going to happen next?
Well, he was very much lit as a kid.
Bear.
Yeah. Oh, no, my
There goes the pencil.
We've seen it go full circle, and hopefully we won't have to see it go full circle again. As on January 20th, we're going to see a new president. And before then, we'll bring you our 45th episode to honor the man who will probably be serving as the 45th Commander-in-Chief.
Donald J. Trump.
Anything else to add?
Nope. We're
All
good.
right. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Don't normally like, I'm Clark Walburger.
I don't care. We never did that.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Clark Walburger. I'm Jack Walburger. I'm Jack Walburger. I'm Clark Walburger. See you next time. Adios. But
I'm John F. Kennedy. No, definitely not.
We choose to go to the moon.
Not because
Not
it's
because
easy.
it's easy.
But because it's hard.
Hard to park the car in Harvard Yard. All right. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Gotta get my pencil.
Yeah, we were deteriorating. Your pencil fell off.
This was not the ideal one. Like Obama's presidency.
Oh.
I'm probably gonna end up calling it the metaphorical. Oh.